Welcome back to True Film on NPR. We now continue our discussion of the upcoming Universal Pictures release, Unbroken. We've heard from the filmmakers. Now we turn to the story of someone who actually lived the soldier's life. Retired Corporal Jack Hart was barely 18 when he enlisted in World War II and found himself in the heart of battle in Europe. From the excitement of being handed a rifle to the realities of killing people, Corporal Hart developed a clear and surprising nuanced view of the value of war. The following is from the upcoming documentary One of the 95th, which chronicles Corporal Hart's journey from a skinny recruit to a decorated soldier, a proud Army veteran, and ultimately a voice for thoughtful deliberation before sending another man or woman off to war. Now, in his own words, here is Corporal Hart.
I was a teenager, fresh out of high school. I was looking for a job. I was lucky I found one. I found a good job in a shoe factory. My job was to knock shanks into ladies' shoes, which I did 4 hours. Then I had lunch. Then came back. I had knocked in the ladies' shanks, another 4 hours. So my life was knocking the ladies' shanks into mademoiselle's shoes, going to college at night and going to sleep and waking up. And then I went into the Army. I felt so good. It was such a difference from having the life that I was engaged in and going into the Army. It was very exciting. They handed me a rifle that weighed 9 pounds. 9 pounds. They also told me that I had the right to go into a foreign country, people I didn't know, and kill them and shoot them. And that excited me. I felt that I had transitioned from a skinny little boy, I was a lot shorter than, I looked like a Boy Scout, and suddenly I was a man with all this power. Basically, I was a naive teenage kid. That was my state of mind. In my outfit, in the 95th Division, 378th Infantry, we were led by Colonel Maroon, Audrey J. Maroon. Talk about magnificent men. Maroon was an unbelievable man. Just to give you an example of what Colonel Maroon was like, we were marching through a small town. There were a couple of farmhouses on the left, and we were marching in 2 columns. Where the town ended, there was a bunch of bushes, and the back of the bushes were trees. Suddenly, from behind the bushes, a machine gun opened up at us. What we were taught to do, was, of course, to scatter, to go to both sides of the road, lie flat, because if you're flat, you make a shorter target. So I scattered. I was perfectly happy. I was content to be safe there. And then on my right, I hear Colonel Maroon say, I'll never forget those words, "By God," he said, "I'm going to knock out that machine gun myself." Colonel Maroon has a handgun, a 45. You can't knock out a machine gun with a handgun, even if you're John Wayne. So I see he draws his handgun, and he's waving it, and he's about to run onto the road. Now, I had a rifle, okay. With a rifle, you have a chance. I loved Colonel Maroon like my own father. I didn't want the colonel to get killed, so I ran out onto the road, I hit the ground, and the firing started up again in the bushes, and you see little clumps of earth getting kicked around, but the clumps of earth didn't hit me. You fire, where we see the bushes moving, and the firing stopped, got quiet. So when it got quiet, I got up, I walked up to the machine gun. So manning the machine gun, one of the German soldiers was dead. He looked to be, man in his 20s. The other kid, he looked to be like a boy who was 15 or 16 years old. He was part of what they called the Hitler Jugend, the Hitler Youth Movement. Like in the American Army, the people who were assigned to man a machine gun, that was usually a suicide mission, because when you can keep firing the machine gun, but eventually you'll get killed or wounded or captured. So now this kid was still alive, the second one, and when he saw me, he took out this hand grenade. It was, we called it a potato masher. Of course, it was shaped like this, and what they do is they screw up the top, they throw it. So when the kid saw me, he figured he wasn't going to live anyway. So with as much strength as he had left, he was screwing off the top of the hand grenade. Now I was standing there, I was looking at him, and I found out later this was true of a lot of us, that if we were able to see his face and his eyes, it was very hard to shoot, to kill them when you're actually looking at them. Because, in combat, what you generally see is movement, and you're shooting at movement, and you don't really know the people that you're killing. But this kid, I was looking at, and I was trying to think. My first thought was, how can I help this kid? And he's turning the hand grenade. So Captain Smith, who was the CEO of the company, he rushed up and said, "Jesus Christ!" And he had a carbine. Carbine has 9 shots. He shot the kid right through the middle with all 9 bullets. It almost cut the kid in half. So it's important to remember this. Captain Smith killed the kid. I didn't kill him. Years later, for some unknown reason, I started to have dreams that the kid rose up and he said in German, because I speak German, he said, we could have been friends, he said, but instead you killed me and you got a medal for it. And I said to him in my dream, I didn't kill you, but it didn't do any good. Ironically, sometime after the war, my wife and I, we were in a summer resort on vacation. At the dinner table, a couple sat down. His name was Kurt, and his wife's name was Doreen. And we got to be extremely friendly. And Kurt told me that he had been a soldier in the German army. We spoke about the war, we joked about the war, and we agreed on almost everything. He had a terrific sense of humor. I would start laughing as soon as I saw him walking up, very close friend. And as I said, ironic thing about it was that if I had met Kurt on the battlefield, I would have had to kill him.
That was retired Corporal Jack Hart from the upcoming documentary One of the 95th, part of our examination of the renewed interest in World War II on the big screen. Up next, our conversation with Jack O'Connell, who stars as Louis Zamperini in Unbroken.